Hello, Pally.
Today is Monday, April 22nd, 2019.
And INFocus starts right now. Change in our school week is this week. We'll have all the details.
And the latest on the horrific terrorist attack in Sri Lanka this past weekend. All that and more is coming up on today's show.
Welcome to INFocus. I'm Maddie Juker.
And I'm Sarah Nash.
There's a lot going on around campus.
Here are some important announcements from today's campus bulletin.
Change in our school week aims to bring the Pally community together through a variety of themes and events throughout the week. The themes for each day are up on screen. The quad will be full of activities as well as performances for students to enjoy.
The Pally Choir Spring Concert is coming up later this month. It will be at 4 p.m. on April 28th. For more information, contact Senior Cameron Miller. Sports Boosters will be selling Pally gear on the quad during lunch tomorrow. Prices can be found on their website.
Moving on now from what's going on around campus to what's happening in the world and locally today.
Let's take a look at what's topping today's headlines in today's News Minute.
A series of explosions struck 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels in and just outside of Sri Lanka's capital Easter Sunday, leaving at least 207 people dead and 450 others injured, including some Americans. The 6 nearly simultaneous blasts, followed hours later by 2 more explosions, marked the bloodshed as among the worst since the South Asian country's 26-year civil war ended a decade ago. A police spokesman said 13 suspects have been arrested in connection with the attacks. Police said they also found a vehicle they believe was used to transport the suspects into Colombo, along with a safe house used by the attackers.
A medical device to treat childhood ADHD has been approved by the FDA. The Monarch External Trigeminal Nerve Stimulation System was given the okay by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Friday. It's designated for children ages 7 to 12 who are not currently on medication for the disorder. It is designed to be worn while a child is sleeping. A small adhesive patch is placed on the child's forehead, and the pocket size delivers a low-level electrical pulse to the parts of the brain responsible for ADHD symptoms. The device has also been investigated as a possible treatment for traumatic brain injury in veterans.
Egyptians voted Saturday on constitutional amendments that would allow President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to stay in power until 2030 and broaden the military's role. The referendum came amid an unprecedented crackdown on dissent in recent years. El-Sisi's government has arrested thousands of people, most of them extremists, but also prominent secular activists. He's also rolled back freedoms won in a 2011 pro-democracy uprising. Voting will stretch over a period of 3 days to allow for maximum turnout. Well, speaking of politics, climate change has become a hot topic recently, especially with the upcoming 2020 presidential election and how we need to make sure that we preserve our planet.
That is true, and since today is Earth Day, Noor Navaid, our very own resident historian, has been learning more on the history of Earth Day. What do you have for us today, Noor?
Well, guys, on this day in 1970, the first Earth Day was celebrated in the United States. Earth Day was the brainchild of Senator Gaylord Nelson of Wisconsin, a staunch environmentalist who hoped to provide unity to the grassroots environmental movement and increase ecological awareness. Earth Day indeed increased environmental awareness in America, and in July of that year, the Environmental Protection Agency was established by special executive order to regulate and enforce national pollution legislation. Earth Day has been celebrated since on different days by different groups internationally. The United Nations officially celebrates it on the vernal equinox, which usually occurs about March 21st. That's all from me. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Noor. Pally is filled with students who have creative and artistic talents, but some parents are concerned about the financial stability of that career path. Max Rosenblum has been researching the story and has more on this.
As the school year begins to wind down, many upperclassmen are making big choices regarding their futures after high school. Some, such as junior Joseph Cudahy, are planning to pursue careers in the arts.
After high school, I want to go to a college where I can major in something musical. I'm not exactly sure if I want to major in performance or composition or audio engineering, something like that.
Meanwhile, senior Sam Cook is pursuing a career in a different art form.
So after high school, I'm planning to definitely pursue a career in filmmaking.
Both consider their artistic passions to be a big part of their lives.
Yeah, music is a big part of my family. My dad plays music, my sister plays music, my grandparents play music. It's just like a big part of my family tradition, playing music together, and it's something that I really enjoy, more than I enjoy academic things. So I just want to keep doing that.
Filmmaking was my just chosen creative outlet. That's like the way I can express myself the best. I feel like over the years, I've accumulated enough like knowledge and skills to produce things that like, you know, that I couldn't really communicate with through like, you know, like maybe like writing or.
While Paoli has a very academically focused environment, they agree that the school also offers many resources to help artists succeed.
Obviously, Paoli is definitely very STEM oriented, but at the same time we have amazing, like we have the Media Arts Center. I don't really know of any other high school that has the same facilities and like teachers that we do.
There's a lot of emphasis placed on the academics of Paoli. I think that we're really lucky. We actually have a really good music program, and they have a lot of really good teachers and a lot of really good resources that most places don't have. For example, next year having an audio engineering class, we're really lucky to have that. Like very, very, very few high schools have opportunities like that for students.
However, they both acknowledge that finding success in their chosen field can be challenging.
There are a lot more musicians than there are jobs as musicians, and so there's a lot of competition for schools and for careers in music.
I think it's like Murphy's Law or something where it's whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and so just knowing that anything can really go, like anything can, and in most cases, like a lot of things do kind of fall apart in the process of making a film.
Despite the potential challenges, Joseph and Sam both have high ambitions for their careers.
Best case scenario, my high school band takes off. I don't go to college. I'm a hit, become famous. That's not going to happen. Most likely scenario, I go to school, major in music production, ideally work in a studio.
Thinking, you know, like maybe it's like 20 years from now, I want to be directing music videos actually. You know, I didn't really have that in mind, you know, initially, but you know, now I've come to it. I've realized that you can't really say like people don't watch music videos. It's not true. You could just look at like any like hip hop artist, or not even hip hop artist, just like any like hit song. It's always going to be accompanied by some sort of visual.
For INFocus, I'm Max Rosenblum.
Thanks for that great story, Max.
Another career path for Paoli students is pursuing sports.
True, I'm sure many Paoli athletes are emailing college coaches already so that they can continue to play in college and maybe even become professional athletes. Now let's check in with Max Bonstetter now, who is in the studio with the latest in Paoli sports news.
Max, how did our teams perform this weekend?
They did pretty well. On Friday, girls varsity lacrosse lost to Los Gatos 16-9. Baseball had a great weekend. The boys varsity baseball team beat Burlingame High School 6-5. The JV team also beat Burlingame 8-5. Today, boys varsity baseball is away at Sacred Heart at 4, and we have 2 home matchups. Boys JV volleyball takes on Cupertino at home at 5:30, followed by girls varsity lacrosse versus Abraham Lincoln at 6:30. That's all for me. Back to you.
Thanks, Max. The weather yesterday was so nice, Sarah. It was a
Oh,
great
yeah.
addition to have on Easter Sunday.
It really was. And our meteorologist, Ingrid Paichow, is in the studio now they are Caters in the studio now with today's weather report.
Is the weather going to be as great this week as it was yesterday?
It will, as the temperatures begin to warm up. Looking at today's temperature, it looks like it's going to be about 78 degrees. Looking further into this week, we can see the temperatures rising with a high of 84 on Tuesday and a high of 83 on Wednesday. Now looking into Friday and Saturday, we can see some cloud cover coming, but the temperature is still staying pretty warm with a high of 79 on Friday and a high of 76 on Saturday. The lows will remain in the low to mid 50s. Now looking across the Bay Area today, we can see the temperature staying warm, ranging from 74 degrees to 82 degrees. That's all for me. Back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm looking forward to that warm weather. And that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Paoli.